is Jennifer Petri, a current member of the New York State Partners in Policy Making class. My targeted audience is Governor Cuomo, Mayor Bloomberg, OEM, which is the Office of Emergency Management, community boards, and anyone else who might be of help in this matter. There are approximately 900,000 disabled residents living within New York City. Most recently, during Hurricane Irene, it became apparent that evacuation plans for those with disabilities are sorely lacking or non-existent. Over 500,000 of the disabled residents have a mobility disability. Not all designated shelters are accessible to wheelchair users. School buses were used without lifts or sitting areas for persons with mobility disabilities. They were told to use taxi cabs after trains and buses stopped running, yet only 1.8% of taxi cabs are accessible to wheelchair users. Over 210,000 residents have a hearing disability. Televised emergency announcements from city officials did not provide American Sign Language interpreters. Approximately 180,000 residents have a vision disability. Evacuation maps for the city were not usable by persons with little or no vision. Most of these issues could be addressed by OEM formulating a planning program that would designate which entity or agency would be responsible for the following: identifying what agency would be able to provide accessible transportation to and from shelters that are accessible to those with disabilities. Have OEM itself develop an accessible public notification and communication plan for notifying persons with sensory disabilities during emergencies. Provide assistance to persons with disabilities during recovery after an emergency. Community boards could help to identify which residents in their zone would be at high risk in an emergency situation. OEM should be equipped with a list of at-risk residents, their disability, what agencies can be tapped to safely evacuate them based on their disability, and which shelters would be best suited for them according to their needs. Armed with this type of information, those with a disability become empowered and able to help themselves. With technology being what it is today, there really is no viable excuse for the neglectful way those with disabilities are treated during an emergency situation. It breaks my heart, especially as a first responder, let alone a mother of 2 children with special needs, to know that there is no plan in place for such emergencies. An evacuation of such magnitude and special needs is not something that you can just wing. It requires forethought, resources, interagency communication / cooperation and planning. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank 2 agencies, Brooklyn Center for Independence of the Disabled and the Center for Independence of Disabled New York City, who brought forth a lawsuit seeking to address these needs. Without this lawsuit, most people would still be unaware of the extra dangers the disabled face regarding any type of emergency evacuation. Hopefully, with the help of people like you and myself, this situation can be remedied shortly. Thank you.